Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new here. So today we're going to talk about, and I know it's been a long time since I spoke about MAFS and the new UK version's coming on really soon. They're already advertising for new people to audition, but I want to get this done. So while I'm doing this, there probably won't be any eyeshadow tutorials. This isn't for everyone, but if you do watch it, thank you. So where we left off last time was episode 19 part 1. So we're going on to Friends and Family Week part 2. So the aim of Friends and Family Week is to get feedback from their loved ones and the people that are closest to them. Bronte and Harrison. So Bronte said to Harrison, "Are you nervous?" And Harrison said, "Should I be?" And she said, "A little bit." Ollie said to Tahnee, "Mum does a severe vetting process." So Tahnee and Ollie are up first. Ollie said to the producers that he and Tahnee have been really strong from the beginning and that he thinks Tahnee got a tick of approval on the wedding day, and he feels really great at how far they have come in such a short space of time. Arlene and Lucy are Ollie's mum and sister. Ollie's sister Lucy says they seem really compatible, they seem like a good match. Arlene, Ollie's mum, said they're a very strong couple, a strong match, and they just get on, they're so cute. Arlene said, "All you ever want to see is your kids happy, and I can see he's happy." Lucy said it was nice to see. Tonya and Ash are Tahnee's friend and sister. Ash, Tahnee's sister, said that she really likes Ollie and can really see him meshing in with family life, and I can see Tahnee really fitting in with his family too. Tonya said it's really nice to see how happy they are, it makes me happy. Tahnee said to the group and Ollie, "I would say we are the strongest couple in here. Don't you think, Ollie?" And he said, "Exactly, you have hit the nail on the head." Tahnee said, "I'm very thankful for that because it wouldn't have been a fun time if we wasn't getting along." Lyndall and Cameron. Cameron said to the producers, "It is what it is. I suppose that the other night would happen with Lyndall's mum. I've already spoken to my mum about it and I think there's going to be some questions. My mum's got no filter, that's all I can say." I mean, can Cameron not defend himself? He's a grown-ass adult. Why does he need his mum fighting his battles? I don't understand that. I mean, yes, have a say, but don't be gunning for somebody else's mum just because they was worried about their daughter, you know? I mean, that's what it boils down to. Then there was a knock on the door and Lyndall looked very nervous. Fiona, Cameron's mum, did not look impressed with their apartment, and she said to the producers, "Yeah, no, this is not Cam at all. He's used to open spaces, getting in his shoe, going to the beach." She said, "I don't know how you kept him here. I mean, I wouldn't want to be. This would be my worst nightmare." So she's a very opinionated woman, his mum. Kellyanne, Lyndall's mum, said to the producers, "I'm a little bit apprehensive because I know I hurt Cam's feelings. It made me feel quite bad and I want to apologise and resolve it." Again, why did she have to wait days and days and days to resolve it? Why couldn't she just ring him the day after she knew that she'd hurt his feelings? It's all for show. It's a reality show, right? So they make sure that everyone sees it, and I don't feel like that's necessary. Lyndall said to everyone, "Let's sit, welcome everyone, how are you finding Sydney?" And Fiona said, "Depressing." Lyndall didn't know where to look, she just looked down at the table and said, "Okay." Cam said, "Different lifestyle." Fiona said to Cam, "Well, you're doing well to stay here." Cam's dad said, "Are you enjoying the time?" And Lyndall said, "Look, it's been a very wild ride, but I'm also having the time of my life." Cam said, "It's been good, it's been a challenge, definitely. I hadn't really lived with a girl, been in a relationship before ever, so this is all pretty new to me." Cam said, "I think this week has been our best week." Lyndall agreed and said he got me flowers the other day and they were incredible flowers. Lyndall and Cam said, "We had a bit of a blow up, it was a lot." Kellyanne said to Cam, "I just want to say I'm really sorry that video chat. I'm thinking you have been together for a month. Give Lyndall a hug. I'm not there, I can't do it." So the issue was Cameron is a very private person and he didn't want to show affection to his wife in front of her mother on FaceTime. So that's why he got a bit arsey. Cam said, yeah, I know it was just a hug, but I felt so pressured and I felt it was unnatural." Kellyanne said, "I felt really bad. What it highlighted to me is that I don't know you very well, and that's not surprising, and I was completely unaware that would cause you that kind of discomfort." Kellyanne said to the producers, I have apologised to Cam for making him feel that way and for saying that to him, and I hope that's the end of the story. Fiona all of a sudden piped up, you can't take words back, that's what I'd say. Then she said, as advice, words are really hurtful to people once you've said them then, and she just left it there. It's like, have you never said anything to your husband or kids that you didn't mean? Are you that perfect, Fiona? Fiona said to the producers, you put pressure on Cam, he will shut down. Fiona and Cameron had a conversation on the balcony to discuss his time in the experiment. Cam said it's been a challenge and Fiona said, well, look at you, you're locked up here, it's horrible. No one's forcing him to be there, he can go at any point. And his mother is making out that he's under lock and key. No, that isn't so, Fiona. Cam can go at any time, he just has to write leave, he's not a caged animal or a criminal. Fiona said to Cam, you was brought up as a country kid so everything was quite black and white. Simple, whereas they don't do this now. It's all about feelings, emotions, it's different and you handle things differently. Yeah, that's the thing, I show my affection in other ways. She obviously loves that side of physical touching, which I have been doing. I have been doing that more and it gets to the point where she likes kisses and cuddles, and every time she comes to me for a kiss I give her one. I never say no. Oh, well, that's good of you. Fiona said that is insecurity. People that want that constant touching, affection, I think it's craving for attention. Lyndall and Cam were talking after their loved ones left. Lyndall said, how did your mum feel about the whole thing? Cam said, truthfully, mum did say the affection and wanting the cuddles and kisses and holding of hands could be, and there is no nice way to say this, could be insecurity. Lyndall said, for me, she looked shocked. Said okay, and said I'm not asking for 100, I'm asking for 1. It's not that much, Cam. Lyndall said from me, she looked shocked and said okay, and said I'm not asking for 100, I'm asking for 1. It's not that much, Cam. Cam said it's not just 1, but affection to me is. Lyndall said I literally agreed with you, 1 bit of affection a day, so it is. Cam said to Lyndall, we have started a new page this week, and Lyndall said, so what, I'm not allowed to talk about affection at all? And he said, no, we have started a new page this week, that's water under the bridge. Oh my gosh. Lyndall said, it's not water under the bridge, babe, if we're still working on the affection. He said, it's water under the bridge for me. So very much a difference of opinion. Cam said, I don't think your mum realised how uncomfortable I felt, and Lyndall said, I think she expected after being in here a month and having a wife and knowing we had been sexually intimate that a hug really wouldn't have been that much of an ask. Cam said, I just feel like if the boot was on the other foot. Lyndall said, what do you mean by that? Cam said, let me talk. Lyndall said, I am letting you talk. Cam said, if my mum asked you and you felt pressured into doing something. Lyndall said, like what? And Cam said, it doesn't matter like what. I felt pressured. I felt like you wasn't supporting me. Your mum pressured me into doing that after it had been a massive week. And Lyndall said, yeah, but she didn't mean to. Cam said, I know she didn't mean to, Lyndall, but she made me feel it. Just because she didn't mean to do it, I can't feel good about myself. Lyndall said, right, what do you want me to do to fix it? Cam said, we have fixed it, we have spoke about it. Lyndall said, well, okay, good. So why don't we stop talking about it then? Lyndall said, I'm really protective of my mum. You have said I'm really insecure and that's why I want 1 hug a day. Cam said, I never said that. And Lyndall said, well, you're saying your mum said it and you seem to believe everything your mum says. Cam said, yeah, and so do you. And then Lyndall said, yeah, because my mum is a good person. Cam said, my mum is a horrible person, is she? Lyndall said, that's not what I said, and then stormed off and said, good on you, mate. So up next is Melinda and Layton. Layton's mum Shelby and sister Kate, Melinda's mum Lorraine and brother Ryan. Layton said to the producers, being able to have some time with Mel and my mum and my sister, it's a good time to get some perspective on our relationship, how we interact together. Shelby asked Melinda on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at with everything? And Melinda said I'd go with an 8 out of 10. We have a good connection, so we're very cuddly. We're actually pretty cute guys. It's very hard to tick all my boxes right. I reckon Layton ticks almost 99% of them. Shelby said, what's the one thing? Melinda said, I think anyone in a relationship needs communication and conversation, and we can't figure out how to do that without fighting. Layton said, we're both very stubborn and headstrong and that can lead to one of us getting upset. Melinda said, so we've had that issue, but when we're good, we're good. Layton said, the things we still need to work on are how to handle our differences. Overall, we are on this hot streak. Things are awesome. Ryan said to Layton, do you see it continuing past the experiment? Layton said, I'd love to see how this goes outside of the experiment. I've certainly thought about it. Mel said, I think we will make it work after the experiment. Lorraine said, it sounds like you just need to listen to one another a little bit more, but that they sound like they are having a good time. Bronte and Harrison. Bronte and Harrison met up with his two best friends, Dan and Paul, and Bronte's sister, Kira, joined them. Harrison said, I think it's important to win over the friends and family in any relationship. I think if Bronte and I are in a good place, Kira and I will be in a good place. Well, that's what I'm hoping anyway. Kira said, I feel like how things ended between Harrison and I on the wedding day made me question whether he was genuine, so I just want to find out if his intentions are true. Bronte said to Kira, did you not think we would still be here? And she said, look, with how things ended, I was super sceptical because it was overtaken by drama that sucked. Kira said, how's it been? And Bronte said, it's been good, like what in the beginning, it was awful. Harrison said, little things have come up, but nothing more than what a normal couple would have to deal with. I don't buy that. Bronte told her sister the story about the phone number, and Kira said to the producers, okay, that's alarming. Bronte actually threw Harrison under the bus a bit by telling her sister half the story, then said, I'll let you take over now. Kira said to Bronte, that really upsets me. Kira said to the producers, you can't say you're ready for a marriage, then go out and live a single life. Kira said, I've found out a few things and I'm not overly happy about them. I've seen her heart broken 1,000,000 times and I just refuse to let that happen again. Kira said to Harrison, don't worry Harry, you get a homestay, you're on my turf. Harrison said to the producers, I've spent weeks on end in this experiment trying to make this relationship work and to treat Bronte the way I think she deserves to be treated, so I didn't think I deserved the threatening tone of, well, it will be a homestay and you will be on my turf. Sandy and Dan. Sandy went to Claire's for moral support and to tell her what's been going on between her and Dan. Sandy said, Dan is making me feel like I'm not good enough, like I'm inadequate. I just can't live up to what he wants. We've slept together and there's literally nothing. Claire, nothing. Everything I put on the line to be here. Everyone says Dan is amazing, and when he is amazing, he is amazing. Claire said, great, but he's not treating you amazingly. And Sandy said, is this self-sabotage or is this him? I don't know. Sandy said to Claire, I don't know how to navigate this because I've not been in a relationship before. This can't be how a relationship works. Sandy said this morning the first thing he does when we wake up, he didn't even give me a hug. He normally gives me a hug. He gets up, jumps up. He's like, I'm going on my run, and he left because he just wants to run from everything. Claire said, and he probably won't come back for hours, will he? And Sandy agreed. Claire said, this is not how it's meant to be. Sandy said, to be honest, I probably deserve better, but I don't know because I've never been in this situation. Sometimes with the things he says and the way I get treated, is this how relationships are? Is this normal? Claire said, you were not made for mediocrity, not in life, not in love, and what Dan is giving you is below par and is unacceptable. He's not giving you any emotion or affection after sleeping with you, when you specifically said, when we sleep together, I've got real feelings for you, and he slept with you and now he's running away from that. Sandy said, I've never seen this side to him. I'm like freaking out, like maybe he's not my person. Who am I falling for? Claire said he needs to have a good hard look at the way he's treating you because this is not how it's meant to be. And this is not someone that cares for you. They shouldn't be making you feel this way. Sandy said to the producers, I'm sick of feeling like I'm not good enough. Sandy said to the producers, am I naive because I've never had a relationship before? I'm only trying to look at all the good and I didn't see the bad before. Was it always there or was he not showing it? Sandy said, I'm sick of feeling not good enough. I'm sick of feeling like fitting into some sort of model that he has in his head. I'm sorry, I can't do that. This is who I am. I'm not just going to put up with someone treating me poorly and not saying anything. I did that my whole life. I'm just scared that I've fallen for a version of Dan that doesn't even exist. Claire and Jessie. Claire said to the producer, she cares about Jessie so much and I'm using this week to show Jessie that I actually do know you and I do listen to what you love and what you're passionate about, what you enjoy and planning dates for him. Claire said, I hope we can leave the past behind us. I hope we can move forward. I hope I can show Jessie that my priority is him and my priority is earning his forgiveness. Claire knocked on Jessie's door. Gosh, it was awkward. She said, I want you to know that this week I want to make you feel valued and good, and I want to show you that I'm here to try if you will allow it. Jessie said, cool, alright. Claire said, I know you love squash, so I thought we might go and play some squash. Are you down? Jessie said, okay, of course I'm down. Have you ever played squash before though? And she said, no. Claire said, I've never played squash in my whole entire life. I probably should have googled how to play squash. Jessie said to the producers, something that people might not know about me is that I play squash. It's an amazing game and it's going to be so good to get back on the court. It's nice to see Claire's effort, but I do wonder whether the amount of positivity that can be evoked from this week is going to outweigh what exists within me. Cameron said, we didn't leave it good on Friday, none of us did. The tones got nasty and that's why I had to get out. Cameron said, I wouldn't be here if I didn't care about you. Cameron said, last week was awesome. That week for me was the best week that I've had in this experiment. Lyndall said, you did a really good job last week. That's not lost on me. You did a really good job. I was really happy with it and I appreciate it's been hard. I really care about you and I still really want to work through this. Cameron said, yeah, we do have some work to do this week. Cameron said to the producers, I do feel shit about what happened. It's upsetting. Tahnee and Ollie. Ollie said to the producers, we became the foster parents of 13 orphaned fish this week. We inherited the fish from Janelle and Adam after their time in the experiment ended. We said how we would really like to bring them into our home and there are 13 of them. So many kids. Rupert and Evelyn did the photo ranking task. Rupert put Evelyn first and she said, well, I'm flattered you put me first. And Rupert said, you are genuinely the most attractive of the lot. You're gorgeous. She said, fair enough, but will Evelyn put Rupert first? Evelyn said, I would put you in between Ollie and Layton. Rupert said, okay. Rupert said, so I'm on the podium, and Evelyn said, of course you're on the podium. Tayla and Hugo. Tayla is still not happy after Hugo put her second last in the photo ranking task. That's gotta hurt though, doesn't it? Hugo said, I know you wasn't happy, and Tayla said, I was really upset with you. I was so angry. Hugo said, I absolutely hate that I upset you in these last couple of weeks for us. I've kind of been a little bit trying, that's on me, and of course Tayla agreed. She just takes no responsibility. Hugo said, absolutely, lesson learned. Tayla just came across like she wasn't interested in what Hugo had to say. I mean, she had her sleep mask on the whole time and didn't even look at him while he was trying to talk to her. She's clearly still upset, which is fair enough, but there is no need to show disrespect. Lyndall and Cameron. The producer said to Lyndall, where are you guys at? Are you good? And Lyndall said they were. Even though they have had quite a few struggles, they were in a good place now and hopefully we can continue that way. And that's all I can really ask for. Sandy and Dan. Sandy and Dan have spent most of the day apart. Sandy said to the producers, I was by myself all day. He's been gone for hours. He doesn't tell me where he is. I just get a sense that he doesn't want to spend time with me. And it's starting to get under my skin a little bit because I'm like, either he doesn't think I'm good enough for him or he just doesn't see a future with me. Then Dan comes waltzing in like he hasn't been out all day, saying hello to Sandy. He's like, you're in your PJs early tonight. Sandy said, yeah, I showered, and he said, it's only 6:30 p.m. And she said, it's dinner time, so I was like, I'll have a shower before dinner. So why does she feel the need to explain herself to him? He's been out all day doing his own thing and she's wanted to relax, you know, have a shower before she has dinner and get into her PJs and settle in for the night. Why does she feel like she has to explain that to him? Sandy said, if I don't speak the truth and I don't speak up, then I'm going to get to the end of these 3 months and think I was a watered down version of myself. And if he doesn't accept that, I'll think, is that why he didn't like me? I'm not holding back. I've done that all my life. I've done that around my parents. I did that around the community. Dan said to Sandy, why have you been here brewing so mad? And Sandy said, because I want to spend time with you. And he said, well, why don't you message me or text me or something? Sandy held her hands up saying, anyway, it doesn't matter. And Dan said, yeah, this is a lot. Sandy said, it is a lot because all day I've barely seen you. I've not spent any time with you. Dan said, I feel like I've walked in and you have been plotting to have a go at me. Sandy said, if you would have been here, we could have talked and I would have been fine. Dan said, Sandy, I'm not going to sit here all day and watch TV. Sandy said, I don't want to sit on the couch either. Okay, so stop implying that I want to sit on the couch all day. Dan said, I'm not implying, I'm actually stating it's a difference. Sandy, if I spent that much time at the gym as what you do on the couch, I'd be shredded and ripped to no end, seriously. I'm out running, I'm out hiking, I'm out in the water, I'm out in the ocean. Dan said to Sandy, what's triggering you right now? Sandy said, I feel like I'm going in circles. Dan said, I don't feel that way, and Sandy said, what's triggering me is that I don't feel like I'm good enough for you. That's how you make me feel. Dan said, Sandy, I'm here to celebrate and expand who you are, right, and support who you are. And Sandy said, it's not why I'm here for a relationship. Dan said, it's very exhausting to Sandy, and she said, I'm exhausting, are you for real? And Dan said, this is exhausting. Sandy said, is that why you disappear for hours on end? Dan said, no, what do you mean, disappear for hours on end? I go to the gym, I go for a run, what are you talking about? Why would you say that? Sandy said, but you do, Dan, and he repeated himself, I go to the gym and I go for a run. Dan said to the producers, I felt ambushed by Sandy. She said she was a bit angry, a bit pissed off. If anything, it just shined a little bit more of a light on the gap between where Sandy and I are at and some of the lifestyle differences that we have. You know, my lifestyle is active, it's adventurous, it's board shorts and bikinis. I'm going to go out and live my life, that's what I do, that's me. Sandy said to the producers, he keeps making me feel like I'm not good enough, that I don't fit into what he was looking for. Part of me feels like he's not invested in this as much as I am because I'm already invested. I'm already like, shit, I've got feelings for him, and maybe that was a mistake, I don't know. Claire took Jessie on another date. They went to look at guitars, as that is another one of Jessie's passions. Jessie said to the producers, it's pretty good at being back in my element. I've always been into music from a very young age. It makes up so much of my identity and who I am as a person. I can't even describe myself as a fan, it's my life, so I really appreciate Claire taking me here. Claire said to the producers, I'm really happy to see Jessie in his element. He seems really happy and I must say he's very good with his hands. Claire joined Jessie on the drums and he said to the producers, surprisingly, me and Claire made a really good team on the drums. Jessie then tried to teach Claire how to play guitar, and he said to the producers, oh man, I know it was her first time playing guitar, but that was painful to watch. Jessie said, this has been a good day, to be honest, pretty thoughtful. I can definitely see that Claire is putting effort in the last couple of days, so I'm feeling pretty good. To celebrate getting to the halfway point in the experiment, some of the grooms went out and some are waking up with sore heads. Tahnee and Ollie. Tahnee said to Ollie, how are you feeling? You went out for drinks with the boys, and he said, yeah. Tahnee said, did it get a bit too late? Ollie said, yeah, or a little bit all over the place. Ollie said, last night I went out with some of the boys. I went out with Rupert, Duncan and Hugo came out. It was a bit hectic, not good. Evelyn and Rupert. Rupert said to Evelyn, how are you feeling? And she said, I'm okay, how are you feeling? Rupert said, I'm feeling good, heavy weekend. Evelyn said, I don't know if you remember this, but accidentally you butt dialed me. It was an accident. And Rupert said, right. Evelyn admitted to Rupert that she listened in. I unfortunately heard what two of the husbands were saying about their wives. Rupert said who, and Evelyn said Hugo and Dan. That's weird, as Ollie didn't even mention Dan was on the night out. It's no surprise he's taking centre stage in the drama though, with everything that is going on with him and Sandy. Evelyn went on to specifically say, Dan, I heard it so clear. I mean, come on, how can you hear a pocket dial that clear? It's not like it was on loudspeaker. They would have been in a busy bar too. I call bullshit on that, Evelyn. It's just for drama. Rupert said, I remember the other husbands were saying a few things about their wives, yeah. I tried to stay out of it. Evelyn said, I kind of had a feeling from the ceremony that Dan was a bit of an arsehole, but that kind of cemented my first assumptions. Evelyn said, some of the husbands in this experiment are very sneaky and manipulative, and I can see right through it, and I feel bad for the wives involved. I just would not forgive myself if I did not tell the girls, like I definitely feel they need to be called out for it. Rupert said what he was saying was out of line, and Evelyn said it was disgusting. Evelyn said to the producers they were all in a boys' night, having some drinks, and I got a butt dial from Rupert. I was like, hello, hello, and he wasn't responding, and I realised that it was an accidental pocket dial. Naturally, I'm listening in. Claire and Jessie. Claire said to the producers, this week has been about earning Jessie's trust and making him feel good, and I have one more surprise for him. Claire said to Jessie, I've got something for you, and he's like, what do you have in there? And she said, I got you some cute little pics today. to match your guitar. He seemed pleased with that, and she said, I got you something else too, it's a bit more sentimental than that. Claire said, I got you a crystal. We all know how Jessie feels about crystal at this point. Claire said, take it then, I will read it to you. She said it's called a carnelian. She then read what it symbolises. Claire said to me, it just reiterates that I want to move forward with you and that I care about you. Jessie said, I must admit you have done pretty well this week, and she said, I'm glad. Jessie said there had been a few moments where I'd been pretty impressed by this. Jessie said to the producer, you know, I probably enjoy the crystal more than the guitar picks. Not so much the use I'm going to get out of it, but more the sentimental value, because I know how much it means to Claire, and for her to have bought me that, there is more value in the crystal. Evelyn is still debating on what to do about the so-called overheard phone call. Evelyn said to the producer last night, the boys went out and I got a butt dial from Rupert, and I unfortunately heard what Dan said about Sandy. The type of thing that was said was pretty disgusting. If that was me and I was trying to work at a marriage and behind my back someone was slagging me off, I would absolutely want to know about it. I have to say something to Sandy. I'm nervous, but I know at the end of the day it's the right thing to do. Then, just like magic, Evelyn was in the hallway and there was Sandy. Evelyn said to Sandy, how are you? And she said, I just keep trying, but it's not. Evelyn said, okay, I need to talk to you about something. Evelyn said, okay, I need to talk to you about something. I'm about to tell you something that you should know. Over the weekend, some of the husbands went out to drink. Rupert butt dialed me, he pocket dialed me. I could hear the conversation between a couple of the boys very clearly, and they weren't saying very nice things about their wife, particularly Dan. Sandy said to Evelyn, Dan said he was with his daughter. Evelyn said Dan was out with the boys. Sandy said, what was he saying? Evelyn said he was insinuating he was too good for this experiment and too good for you. Once I asked Rupert what was going on, he told me that he was showing all the boys photos of his ex-girlfriends, boasting about how hot his ex-girlfriends were. Sandy said after he slept with me, being intimate with me, he decided that now. Evelyn said, I'm sorry I had to tell you, and Sandy said, I would rather know, I'm not that kind of person. Evelyn said, you deserve better than this, and Sandy said, I'm so glad you have told me because I thought I was going crazy. Evelyn said, you're not crazy, you deserve better than how he treats you. Sandy said, I'm done trying to protect who he is. Once Evelyn had walked away, Sandy started crying. The producer said, are you okay? And she said, he can't even respect me, he could do that at least. Everything I've had to face to be here, and I'm with this person. I'm generally a strong person. I try and treat everyone with kindness, and I try not to disrespect anyone. She was just heartbroken. Sandy said, I came here with such high hopes that I would meet someone, that he would respect me, that he would love me for who I am. I went against my parents. My dad's biggest concern is that I would come here and that I would be disrespected. It's exactly what happened. I'm upset because I've disappointed my parents, and I'm angry that I'm letting this happen to me. And that's the end of that one. So the next episode will be episode 20. That'll be coming in the next couple of days. I want to get these just all up on the channel so they're there. Everyone will have seen it at this point. I just want to finish something that I've started. In September I'll be doing some commentary on Strictly Come Dancing. I'm not too sure of the dates of when it comes out, but people last year loved Dancing on Ice, and I was talking about Strictly Come Dancing in those videos, and they asked me to do commentary on that, so I think I will, and there'll be more film reviews as well. But anyway, this concludes this video. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.